Hey, how are we doing? It is Military Monday. Right now, with Patriots Inside the Wire, you're going to enjoy this one. Stay with us. Go grab your friends. Share this, please, so that you understand what we are going to be talking about tonight. True stories. And that's what I want to say. So watch our intro. And while we're doing that, go grab your friends and join us on tonight's show with Patriots Inside the Wire. Thanks.
Giving a voice to the voiceless. We share the stories behind our freedoms and the ultimate sacrifice of those who protect us all. This is Patriots Inside the Wire.
Being a patriot is someone who is willing to give his life for his country and served honorably in Iraq.
Signed our names with no regrets. Only wanted to be the best that we could be. And we wanted this and nothing more than to be true down to the core. We thought we'd live forever, but when the full moon is bright and the wind blows just right, I can hear your voice on the wind.
I should have left it. I think that on the perfect day, but you know what? It's really more like
21 guns into the night till we meet again on the other side. 21 guns. This is goodbye till we meet again on the other side. Yeah, 21 guns.
beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country. It's great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
Welcome to the Patriots Inside the Wire broadcast, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step.
Hey, welcome again. It is Patriots Inside the Wire, and this is Military Monday. We have added a show, and it is what we call Military Monday. You have military Gold Star families with you tonight. If you do not know what that is, trust me, we don't want you to be it, but we will educate you on what it is so that going forward, we can all learn and understand as well. But we've also got a great show. We have some wonderful people with us. We have the stories. We have the truth. We have something you can't get off the TV. And this is true stories from the heart, the heartstrings of the parents whose children stood up to serve for you, took an oath, foreign and domestic. Think about this. Our service members that join are at such a young age. They typically leave home. They have siblings. They have their parents. And that's typically how it goes. And they go right in the military instead of college. Well, sometimes we don't remember about the family or the siblings. And this is why I like to say Gold Star family. I hear Gold Star moms all the time. I appreciate all of that. I really do. I have a son and two other daughters. And the siblings of my son, Sergeant Two-Step, I'm sure you're all, well, I don't think you're all aware of him, but I will always be his mom. So he's right here with me. And that's for me. Do I have good days and bad days? Yes, I do. Thank you for joining us. Stick by us. What I want you to do is to, we're not going to bring you down. Don't worry about this. Like, we're not bringing you on here to sit and go cry in the corner. We don't want you to do that. We want to still be connected. We want to be included. We want to be there and see these units and these troops and these parades and the things that are happening, the patriotism of why my son joined. I won't speak for everyone else. I'm telling you, I want my other children to understand, why did my brother join in the first place? So I always talk about siblings. Welcome to Monday night. Our new co-host on a Monday night is Miss Heather Baker. How are you doing, Heather?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I am doing good now that we're on air. I see there you're all set up. You look great.
Yes, I'm
Wonderful.
feeling good.
Well,
Been
good.
resting most of the day. I went kayaking earlier. I tried to beat the wind, and the wind won.
I
went home and rested. I was like, okay, just chill.
Yes. Well,
been waiting for this all day.
Yeah, I can't imagine with the heat right now. I think I'd probably pass out, or jump in the water. And you know me, Terry's laughing at me because he knows I'm telling the truth. I can't VPC. So everyone that's listening, don't even send me the comments if you're like, Tracy, no, free country right now. Last I checked. Hi, Brent. Son served. Yes, I will tell the truth. So thank you for joining us. I see you there, Brent. We have our loyal watchers. Please share and send this on. What we're going to do right now is we have our special guest on, and tonight that is Mr. Terry Burgess. He is with Gold Star Parents Retreat. I'm going to wait and let Terry tell you a little bit, because I got to go to the Gold Star Parents Retreat like the full time. This is my first time, like the full time. I was like, oh wow, this is the first thing I've gone and put myself around other families that long. And it's because of Terry, and not just Terry, but Terry and Elizabeth Beth Burgess. And I want to include in this the daughter, because I know when I look at your daughter, Terry, daughter-in-law, I see, I've got little ones still. So I experienced something there. And, we've had many talks about this. You're a father. Terry's a Gold Star father. And I think what I'll do right now, rather than talking for you, Terry, is turn around and let you talk a little about Brian first instead of just the retreat, because I find that even with me, I get looked to as a resource. I don't hear people saying, hey, we want to honor Adam, or calling me to say, hey, are you doing good? It's usually, and hey, I want you to do it. Don't take me wrong, everybody out there. Please call me. If I've got the information or the resources, I will find it. If I don't, and tell you someone who does. So what I'm telling you is, when you can connect with someone that works so hard to help others, you got to remember the people behind that. And that's where I like to bring in Terry as a Gold Star father, and Brian, his son. So Terry, right now, Mr. Terry Burgess, a Gold Star father, welcome to the show, Terry. And you know that we love you, and I know that I know a lot, but our show tonight will not. Thank you to Heroes Media Group, and on Patriots Inside the Wire right now. If you want to check it out, patriotsinsidethewire.com. You can go and fill out information to be on the show. Monday is about our fallen heroes. It is not just military. It is all of them that serve or have served. And I mean K-9 police, border, military, every branch. Space Force is even in there. I did have my I can't lie. I did have the production company say, well, we got to add Space Force now. I said, oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Hi, Eva. How are you? Oh, my goodness. Hi. And she's saying hello, Terry Turner. Oh, there she is.
Eva.
Oklahoma. Eva, hi. My country twang came out there. Terry, why don't we get going? I would love for everyone to hear more about Brian.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you so very much. And Heather, it's good to see you.
Yeah. It's so good to see you.
From a very young age, Brian was concerned with his family's safety. And I remember him being 5 or 6 years old and being in the car with us. We get in ready to take a long trip. And Brian will pop up and he said, Dad, you got your seatbelt on? I said, okay, now wait, I'm the dad. I'm supposed to be asking you, make sure you're buckled in. But he made sure that he and his sister Brandy were buckled in, ready for a long trip. Brian liked to sit in the front seat, and he'd watch out for cops, and he grew up with an eye towards law enforcement. He was very concerned about the safety of his family. He loved his nation from an early age. We would go up to Arkansas, watch fireworks with mom and dad on the 4th of July. He loved sports. Tracy, he was the all-American boy. He loved sports, and he was good at it. He was usually chosen as the captain of a team, whether it was baseball, football, soccer, whatever, and he loved to run. That kid could run forever, and Beth will tell you stories about having to chase him down. He was he loved to run. He loved to eat. He loved grandma's pescetti sandwiches, which
Oh, my
just
goodness.
yeah, and I'm no, but yeah, he loved his pescetti sandwiches.
Pescetti, I love it.
And he loved his little sister, Brandon. He took very good care of her. Most of the pictures I have when they were young, it's Brian and Brandy side by side, and that's just the way he was. He had a love for everybody, and it was natural. It wasn't forced. It came very naturally to him. Beth will tell the story. We went on a train trip to Arkansas, and Brian and Brandy, they went running off behind the train. About 10 minutes later, here they came. Brian had 5 or 6 kids trailing along behind him. Like, are you collecting kids on the train? What are you doing? But he was just a natural leader. And that followed him all through his life, and it followed him into the military. And as you know, 9/11 encouraged a lot of our young men and women to join the military. They said, I'm going to fight back. And Brian did. And he wasn't asking permission. He had already signed up. He went to Fort Benning, Georgia. 2003, I think, was when he graduated Fort Benning. And then just almost right after that, he was deployed to Iraq.
What was his MOS?
He was infantry.
Okay. I was
He said
figuring it, Benning.
he wanted to blow, bleep. He wanted to blow stuff up.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He was, Heather, he was like a tree. He was 210. He was 6 feet. He was solid muscle. And at the boot camp graduation, I didn't even recognize him. I did not recognize the man he had become.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. But he did it very well. He got promoted regularly. And then, that first time he came home, we could already see that shadow of war hanging over his head. Yeah. He came home. He wanted to eat hamburgers. He wanted to ride his motorcycle. He wanted to play with his kids, Xander and Micaiah. He didn't want to talk about his job. He did not want to discuss it with me. Yeah. He accused me of playing 20 questions with him.
My goodness.
Just eat
hard.
Dad.
That road. Just trying to be your dad.
Yep. Right. But he was very, very into his job. He didn't know the victims' names of 9/11, but he truly meant to avenge them, and that's what he did through the infantry. He did exactly that. Yeah. So then his final and fatal mission was in March of 2011. His unit was No Slack, the 2nd Battalion, the 327th Infantry of the 101st Airborne out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. They were chosen to go on this mission because General Petraeus said, I need my best mountain fighting team to go in here. They went into Taliban headquarters, right down into Kunar province, where the Russians didn't even dare go in. They landed early in the morning. It was dark. It was dangerous. They had to wait till daybreak. And by then, the Taliban knew the Americans were in the valley. Mm-hmm. And it turned into a 360-degree, 9-day firefight. Brian and 5 others were killed the very first morning of this mission.
Oh my goodness.
And Tracy,
Terry, he had to stay all night out there, correct? Up on it was like a mountain,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, correct?
there were 3 units, 3 platoons, and they were on each side of the valley, and they were trying to get down the mountainside into the valley. And the Taliban were shooting down the medevacs with RPGs. They were wounded were all over the valley. The medics were stretched horribly thin. One of the medics, Jameson Linskog, was trying to get down to Afrin Arachaga, one of the first sergeants. Jameson was shot multiple times trying to get down to Afrin. As Jameson was laying there, Jameson was bleeding out, and he was telling the other soldiers how to take care of Afrin as he bled out. And it's just a horrific morning down in this valley. But Tracy, if anything good came out of that, it's that there was a ABC News reporter, Mike Betcher, was embedded with the 101st during this deployment. And Mike got all of this action, this horrible morning, on film. And he was supposed to do a little bit for ABC News for Nightline. Mike took it back to ABC News, and ABC News said, we can't show this. We can't show this to the public. And Mike said, I'm going to. And Mike turned it into a film. It's 190 minutes, and the film is called The Hornet's Nest Movie. And it's Mike's footage, it's helmet cams, so there's no special effects, there's no actors. It's all, as you see and hear, that's what happened in the valley. And Beth and I toured with the Hornet's Nest movie in 2014, 2015, across the country. We showed the film at colleges, at military bases, and we got to tell Brian's story. And you know, this is what's most important to any military family that's had a loss, and that's to tell their story, say their names, make sure the country knows the sacrifice, the cost of the freedom we have to enjoy 4th of July, to enjoy picnics, to go to the mall. This is what happens. This is the expense. This is the cost of that freedom. And it's hard to recommend watching the Hornet's Nest movie because it's raw. It's the truth. It's it's
unfiltered, not doctored. It's not even like a documentary. Even some documentaries that you watch, well, pretty much every one of them, they still are padded with taking away some footage. So this is raw, unfiltered, kind of what they say about me when I go online. I don't mean it that way, but what I mean is this is just called the truth. This is what really happens. And in the Hornet's Nest movie, if you're going to watch it, what he's trying to say to you, and I want to say, because I want to help you out here, Terry, we are pre-warning you that when you go look this up for the Hornet's Nest movie, that we're preparing you that this is really true footage. This is not on a TV screen. This is something that is actually has happened, and this involves Terry and most of all Brian Burgess' son. So wanted to put a little disclaimer out there, and I'll take the heat for that one.
No, that's exactly right. And right after Brian's death, I declined. I went into deep depression, and Beth was there beside me almost 24/7. She was at times scared to leave me at home by myself, but she helped me through it. And Tracy, she searched high and low for anything to help with, the loss of Brian. And she found a lot for the children, for the children that were left behind, the Gold Star children. She found a lot for the spouses, for the moms, but absolutely nothing for the parents of fallen soldiers, of fallen service members. So with the help of a friend, Beth and I, we founded Gold Star Parents Retreat. And it is for the parents of fallen service members regardless of branch of service or regardless of cause of death. And we've caught some heat over that. Beth and I are Gold Star parents. We received the Gold Star pin from General Colt there at Brian's funeral. But the parents who have suffered other deaths, they don't get the recognition. They get the folded flag and that's it. They don't see a name on a brass plaque on a wall. They don't see memorials. So Beth and I make it a point. We welcome those parents to the retreat. And you've seen it firsthand. It kind of becomes organic. Beth and I, we bring these parents together and then we let it work. The parents connect. They form bonds that will last them the rest of their lives, friendships that they never knew could have or would have existed other than, their own people that they met. A lot of us, we lost family during this time. They say, you're too obsessed with Brian's death. You need to do something positive with your life. You need to move on, move forward.
Yeah.
And the parents of fallen service members will tell you, I can move forward, but I'm never moving on. This is with me the rest of my life. And I will use my dying breath saying Brian's name. And you've seen that firsthand, Tracy, and you understand that. And the people that are listening, Margie, I know you understand.
She is. Hi, Margie.
Yep. Eva Turner's one of our volunteers, and
yes,
she toughs it out. She told me and Beth personally, yes. She said it's very humbling. It is, and it's tough for someone to sit through that. I think, and Heather, probably the most emotional part of our weekend is on Friday. We do a welcome dinner. And we do a roll call of the fallen. We have a special slideshow with their names and their dates. I will say their name. Beth will ring the bell, and the parents will stand up so that the other guests can see, okay, that's their mom, that's their dad. That is definitely the most heart-rending and emotional part of the weekend. The rest of Gold Star Parents Retreat is about connecting. It's about sharing, saying their names. It's about learning that you can smile again without feeling guilty about it. It's like you can have fun. We have crafts that you can do. And we've heard a lot of parents say, okay, Tracy, like 4th of July, we have parents who lost their son or their daughter on the 4th of July in battle.
Oh my goodness.
So while the rest of us are saying, happy 4th of July, they're at home crying because this is their son or their daughter's anniversary. These are the things that we bring out, that we point out, that we say without any hesitation.
You already got me crying over here.
The parents need to know. They need to know that the rest of the country, they may say Happy Memorial Day.
Right.
No, we don't do that. And we celebrate Memorial Day. We celebrate the fallen. On Veterans Day, we have families that still have veterans. The parents were veterans. The mom and dad were veterans. We celebrate Veterans Day. But,
as we should. I mean, Terry, I just got a joke thrown up at me. Hey, Sergeant Carter, how you doing? Sergeant Carter there.
Oh, hey, Brian.
Hey, shout out for Logan. Of course. Hello, Sergeant Carter. Good to see you. He and I love to turn on the karaoke, by the way, and get everybody singing and dancing. So we have fun. They are sending me a message, Terry. That's why I'm laughing. The only reason I'm laughing is I'm getting this message right here, nonstop.
We blame the karaoke on Brian. Sergeant Carter is responsible for the karaoke. Yes, we totally blame it.
Like it's the place for me, man.
Yeah, no.
But I hear I better sign up like ASAP.
Yes, you definitely need to. I stayed busy in session each time, which you're familiar with that locally. So even I figured it out the hard way. I was like, oh boy, I've been so busy that yes, there's been a waiting list. So One
Oh
thing
my God.
I will say is Gold Star Parents Retreat is where I do put a lot of my energy as far as raising funds, even though we're opening Gold Star Family Foundation and Fallen Heroes National Foundation. Gold Star Parents Retreat will always be a sister organization with us. And that retreat will be where I would like to see some funds go for a scholarship for the siblings. And so Terry and I have talked quite a bit actually on this. And he gets it and he understands this part because we both hear this a lot. And with Brian's story, I know a lot of people may not know the backstory. They just know that you're a Gold Star father who's decided to put on this retreat, and they're laughing because no, it's something called Mod Podge, and you like put glue with the picture, and it just didn't work. I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna go turn on karaoke. But I can paint and do art, but it was the glue. It was too much glue, and I was like, "Nah, give me some paint or something like that." But
We had fun, but it was fun.
definitely fun. They loved laughing at me, so I was like, "Hey, I'm fine. You can laugh as long as we're all laughing together. It's all great." So I don't care. I mean, I think it's funny. I actually will never forget. It's in my living room right now with Adam's stuff. I'll never forget it. Belly laughing so hard about
I
the
appreciate
glue.
that. And
It
talking
was
about funds, you can see this is my office. We work
right.
out of our home, so we don't have office space. We don't take a salary. We're unpaid. Our events are just me and Beth run Gold Star Parents Retreat with our volunteers, and we have amazing, wonderful volunteers. I'm glad you got to meet. So every dollar donated towards Gold Star Parents Retreat goes into that program. Some of the money comes out of our own pocket, stuff that we can't cover. I have to say a huge shout out to Mike Brower. He helped finance the 2024 retreat. You've seen a lot of donors this year. My July fundraiser has done phenomenal. We have so many great people that they care, Tracy, that they give a damn, and that means a lot to us that they're not parents of a fallen service member, but they get it. They understand. They're dedicated. They're patriots through and through. Their heart is in the right place, and they come through for us. And I wish I could recognize every single one of them by name. They're precious to us. So
they are. Yes. Well, what I will say, and this is what I do, because it is hard to run an organization, have to be the one that's always like, we need money, we need money. We'll pull your messages up here in one moment. Hey, Doug, nice to see you. I do want to talk to you. Give us a minute here. Stay with the show. Please share it, and let's get more people to go to Patriots Inside the Wire if you're on Facebook. Doug, I see you're on Facebook, so it's really, really easy to share it that way and interact with us. So anyone listening, we're on multiple platforms, radio, audio podcasts. We are every social media channel. So we are able to connect in multi-facets right now. But if you want to interact with a live show, Facebook, X, and YouTube. It's the quickest way to do that with us. So join us there and share that out there. What I was going to say is yes. So one of the big things that I found, I guess I'm really good at doing, is I'm not afraid to go ask for funds for something that my heart is into. So it doesn't bother me. And this is what I used to do. So I was like, okay, I took care of, well, not everything yet, but I work a lot in legislation, which you know that, Terry. So in order to do that, you have to like pull down your pants. You're not going to never mind. You're not going to lay down and cry. You have to get up. You have to button up. And I don't care what you are, who you are, or what your title is. I really don't care. We're going to have a conversation about this and we're going to fix it. So that's me in a nutshell. And that means when I see an organization, after already having an organization while my son was still alive, because I look too, like, where's everybody at? Like, okay. Eventually, yes, this area does have a lot of wonderful organizations. But what I have seen outside of my area and the ways to come together, oh my goodness. And I have to shout out right now to Honor Cafe, Chris, Margie. I mean, there are so many people that I felt like I stepped in this other world. It's the first time in my life as a Gold Star mom which, yes, we get that, by the way. We do get it in the letter. We do get it by them coming to our door. Same thing Terry was talking about. I mean, you think it might be the movies. It's not. Come to your door. I know I was curled up in the corner of the couch just the whole time saying they're wrong. They have to be wrong. And no, they come to your door and they're dressed just like you see on the TV. Once I was able to focus on coming back to Texas and taking care of some things, still legislation. Now, look, anybody listening, I'm saying this on purpose. I am not in politics, okay? What I am is a people person who is trying to save other people from what has happened. So, yes, we have a show. And I know some people are hesitant because of the politics that get discussed. Now, we aren't politicians. We're all parents. And what we have to do, what I have to do, I won't speak for you all. What I have to do is make sure that nobody else has happened to them what happened to my son. I won't have it. I just will never give up. Like you said, Terry, my last breath, you name it. I'm even going to, I've asked other people, I'm assigning this to you. If I start to get to a certain age, Tracy's not going to go away. So this is going to happen. And then what started happening to me was, Terry, somebody would have something, they'd get hold of you and then you say, call Tracy. She's the one who she'll do the legislation thing. And I'm like, yeah, actually I will. And it
well, we all do, have our different brand of grief and our different,
right.
Each one of our service members has a very unique story and
right.
just personal, like, vibe and service of their own. And so we pick up in the footsteps of our soldier. And obviously Brian had just amazing footsteps. And it, how beautiful. I love hearing about his light. It is very reminiscent of my son too. And I know Tracy's. It's beautiful to be able to sit and share our personal stories in the light of our kids. And just, I know just from having met other families from, walking this path of being a Gold Star mom. Unfortunately, I have not gotten to make it to your retreat yet, but I am very excited. Really, I think I'm ready for this.
You can.
Sometimes you're just not ready for it because your heart's not, ready, but it's good to know that there's so many people that love you, that hold a light to you, in your honor, and your child, your beautiful heroes light. And I love what you guys do. What a beautiful mission.
Thank
it
you.
really is, Heather.
It's right here.
One of the bigger things. So Sergeant Carter is shouting out to you right now. What you can't do is get on Facebook right now. So if anybody's getting on any of their social media, unfortunately, it causes reverb because we're actually streaming there as well. But so typically that's what happens. You'll see the reverb will happen and then we'll start spinning. It's the digital world right now. Well, always, not just right now. But the one thing Terry and I talked about, so with Gold Star Parents Retreat, yes, that is once a year towards the first quarter of the year. And goldstarparentsretreat.org, like I have down at the bottom scrolling, has their website. You can go to the website and learn more about this. And I even have some pictures we'll show here momentarily. But Heather, you did point on something. So the two things I want to point out here, if you're looking for somewhere that 100% of that money goes to, Gold Star Parents, okay? Gold Star Parents, not Gold Star Mom, not Gold Star Dad, not the wife and children. And listen, I care for the whole group, but there is very limited resources or organizations that are dedicated to us. So as parents, it is devastating to have your child gone, but then to also have your whole self removed because of maybe how they were killed, or you're ranked, we're segregated. And you know that I'm very honest about this. I do not believe in it. I do believe in doing no harm. I do believe you should never, ever, ever, I'm going to give you all a tip. Don't ever walk up to a Gold Star mother and tell her, She is not. Do not ever walk up to her and avoid her and overlook her and hand the lady beside her a rose because they say to you, you're not a Gold Star mom because of. No. I'll tell you right now, the only person that makes that decision is the DOD, and that's the Department of Defense. So that comes straight out of our military, which is given to us. Same as Heather, same as me. Same with Sergeant Two-Step is the same with Smitty. So I wanted to say that, you hit on that, the different stories. So I always tell everybody, here's 2 words. Just answer this for me. Were they active duty? That's what I need to know. That's all I need to know. Were they serving our country active duty? And they took that oath, foreign and domestic. We know they took the oath. Active duty. Okay, then you don't need to say anything else to me because that's how the military works. So I go by on that part of it. I'll go by their definition. Do I agree with everything? No, but I can agree to disagree on a lot of things. But that one, no. If I have to fight my last breath for that one too, in which I will fight that one until my last breath as well. That these families, when I look over at Heather and I look at you, Terry, and me, and then the families that I do know, we know a lot of the same families. And they've been in my home, or I've been in front of them, and they've called me and said, what about this and what about that? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then can't say a whole lot here, but Terry and Heather are aware of something, and it's been horrible. I never expected it was going to be me, that it would be an experience that I'm not going to get into, but I don't understand why you want to strip someone down so far that's already lost everything, their firstborn son, serving for your freedom. Keep your mouth shut. If you just don't have anything nice to say, you know what I was taught? Then don't say anything at all. Like, keep going, keep moving, because you are only harming. So I am taking this from Amy. And it's Amy Taught it. It is do no harm. Do no harm. Everybody listen to me. That's my new motto.
What's so great about this Gold Star Parent Retreat, though, is that it does include everyone. Right. It doesn't matter what your particular story is, but your particular story is important, and so it's valid and validated at this retreat where everybody feels the same way.
And that's just it, and that's one thing that Beth says. If your son or your daughter, they raised their right hand and took that oath to defend their nation, then they served. And to us, that's beyond precious.
Well, you're correct. I know that.
I love that, Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, you're gonna love
that. That you heard your wife genuinely laugh for the first time after Logan's passing.
And to us, that's a success.
How healing.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm going to go further on that one.
Like I said, I'm already crying.
Well, wait till you go. We will have you in certain rooms that don't cry, and then there's rooms that do. So you have your pick. It's like you got a whole group of personalities.
Hey, it can be either or at any given moment.
At any moment, literally. But it's beautiful. Listen, it is at a cabin park up at Yogi Bear near Wichita Falls. This is out of Texas, but there is a program with American Airlines. Thank you to American Airlines. And Rick Irving. Rick Irving's always there taking pictures. I like to shout out for the volunteers because I know, Terry, you can't do this all. I've tried in the past, and it will wear you down. So I try to do as much as I can, which means spread the word, let everybody know that this is something that is not giving funds anywhere else. This is 100% paid for. Can you imagine? Travel, food, expenditure for the whole weekend, Friday through Sunday. Now, sometimes it's Thursday night through Sunday because you got to get set up. Can you imagine how much money that costs? Now, this is not about money because we want to bring them all. And I remember this year, Terry, we got a hold of each other, and I was like, well, wait, I'll call. It's a big RV park, everybody, too. So there's only so many cabins. So now Terry figured out, well, let's figure out the cabin. Well, when I called him, because I was wrapped up in session and legislation, I was not thinking myself either. I was out helping. He's like, Tracy, it got completely full. And I'm like, I didn't stop to think about that I needed to do that.
Wonderful.
So busy, but I had forgotten. So it's not someone else. There's a waiting list, literally. And when I heard that, I went, oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. I said, Terry, let me call. He said, I did. I said, just let me try. And I tried and I called, and I'm telling you, I only had a day. I had 24 hours. I didn't have any luck. But for the rest of this year, until we get to Gold Star Parents Retreat, I'm guaranteeing there's going to be a wait list. Number one. Number two, I would like to hear from Doug. I saw your message. I want to make sure that you get my number. And I think you might actually have it. So if you get in touch with me, I can definitely talk. I know what you're talking about as far as fun. So I just know that it's what Heather was saying. It is, I'm sorry, Sergeant Carter, about Kim. I had a story there. It's so funny because you meet people you don't even realize they're like near you anywhere, number one. Number two, because we're all on social media and we usually find each other, you'll walk in that room, Heather, I guarantee you, this happened to me. I walked in the room and there's Tracy and hugs, and I'm like, okay. and I'm a hugger anyway, so I was like, yay. And the music, Heather's big into music too, so I was like, yes, we're gonna do that. And so Heather, I ended up like teaching Sheila. I'm like, she's like, you're from Texas, teach me how to two-step. I'm like, okay, come on, I'll do it. Let's do it. But Kim, I do want to say this for Sergeant Carter. Kim is his wife, and Kim and I met with a different organization, but very close. We are all very close. All these organizations I'm talking about, which would be Terry Burgess at Gold Star Parents Retreat, and then someone else that held something. They have their own show, so I'll get them on to talk about them at another spot. This is about Kim and Sergeant Carter, and their son is Logan. I was somewhere after meeting her at Gold Star Parents Retreat, and she hugged me, I hugged her. We're holding our kids' pictures, and we are just like helping and coordinating and volunteering and just loving each other and taking pictures. I am not kidding you. I had 3 people come up to me and go, "What did you do?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "What did you say?" I said, I don't think I said anything. I think I just said, hi and hugs and hug. That's really all I ever do. I don't know. Did I do something wrong? And they said, "No, Tracy, she doesn't even hug her husband. Like, how did you get her to even come around like that?" And I said, "I don't know if you're pulling my chain here." And they weren't, though. But I was like, I don't think I did anything except relate to a mother who was looking at her kid's picture on the ground there when people were going to walk by. And I picked up mine. She picked up hers. And that's all it was. And so the weird thing is that, like Sergeant Carter said, the first time she laughed was there with Gold Star Parents Retreat. Then they were joking with me that we don't know what you did, but keep doing it. So the next Gold Star Parents Retreat, where I actually got to go the full few days, it was so great to see her. And now that's the joke. It's like, how are you going to get her to laugh and hug and talk to us now, Tracy? So I love Kim. She's great. There's a process, like Heather said. There is a process for all of us. And so some people do have a strong personality, right? A
lot of us gals do.
I guess we didn't get a choice, right? Some of us just didn't get that choice. But I just, between her and I had known Sergeant Carter, you've got the Bozo family tonight. I'd like to send up something to them and just say their name for the Bozo family. And you know why, Terry, but we have so many. I keep saying we, and it's because I'm asking you all to share the information and donate to goldstarparentsretreat.org. And that's why we get on here. We are on here to let you know who we are. Number one, it is, yes, and Margie's like, it was her first time doing karaoke because I was like, "You're doing karaoke."
Yes, she did great.
She did. She did it. She did it. Blink 182. I know the song well, too, because of my son. We have a lot in common, all of us. I mean, 9/11, number one, is what got my child. And he was built for something like that. Like, he was my fighter, okay? So my younger one is like an old soul. Heather actually has stayed at my home when we've gone to done things. We do things up at Fort Hood. Supposed to say Fort Cav. Fort Hood. I still call it Fort Hood. Beautiful room they have for us. We'll show you a picture in a little bit and some things we're working on. But the one thing that I will always do that I told Terry is while I have access going back to my roots, which is broadcasting, hosting, I hope I get my full voice back to do singing, or I'll just have to be Heather's backup singer. Which I do that for others, but I want my whole voice back from where my vocal cords were cut. But Heather, you're going to get to go. You got to sign up.
I know. I need to sign up.
I will tell you.
Oh, too late. I've already got you signed up, Heather.
Oh,
great. Yes.
Isn't it interesting, Heather? Do you remember? Oh, you okay?
Yes. This little table just gave way. I got a little excited there about getting to go to the Gold Star Parent Retreat.
He said, "Yay! Okay, Carter, we
My
have
monster was
to
saved, though. We're good.
Got to do the karaoke, Sergeant. But we're also going to do either a cappella, and she's going to bring her guitar. I may or not bring mine. We'll see. But Heather's definitely going to have a guitar. So yes, you will love it. So Sergeant says." He says, "Yay, we got to do a duet." Yes, you can leave me out. Thank you, Sergeant Carter.
I will. Let's do it.
I will, but I was doing like this with Sergeant Carter. He does that to people. It's like he will make you laugh. I'm sitting here trying to do a
wait
show.
to meet all these folks.
They just are good people. You know, I don't know another word for it except for what I call real people, good people. And I guess that's the Texas meets Tennessee in me. I don't know what it is, but I don't know any other way to be. And I'm not about to change it now. And trust me, I've had people trying. You just can't. So the good news is that when you find people who are like-minded, and I'm not going to lie, I literally went to Heather and a few other moms before I ever went. And I said, "We all sign up for this Gold Star Parents Retreat." And they weren't ready. And they said, "No, I just don't think we can yet. We're just not there." And so
Right. And
I was waiting on them.
Yeah.
I was literally not going to go unless they went, except the way that it happened for me is the whole session thing. And you had called me about another mom. And I'd already been on with you a couple of times trying to get people to understand what are Gold Star parents. Gold Star parents have our service members serving for you, active duty. No other questions. They are serving. They are active. They are no longer here, unfortunately. Now their parents are. That's what it is. That's the definition. With the retreat that Terry has, while in session, I said, "All right, I'll go one night." And so that was my compromise because I couldn't find someone else to go with me. So plus I really did have to testify the next morning, but I got in there and I was like, wow, okay. Why am I so afraid? Like the anxiety of walking to a room like that. And I could care less if I walk up to the president or anybody else and I'm testifying, but to walk into a room like that, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do it. And it's the best thing I ever did. So the best thing I ever did was push myself to go and actually meet. So I'm admitting it to every one of you right here. I look very strong. I seem like I could be strong, but I have moments as well. And I was hesitant. I was like, what can I contribute? So I'm always thinking like that. Like, what am I going to be able to contribute here? And I was like, I know what I can contribute. I'm going to go straight up to Terry and Beth and say, put me to work. And I asked them 100 times. I'm not kidding.
Beth would not let you work. She
would not, but I did.
Not like me.
I did it though. Well, so when Beth left and there's all these dishes sitting back there, this was the first time because I only was there a day. I went back there and started washing dishes, and then Sergeant Carter turns on karaoke, and I'm like, music? Oh, it's like wait a minute.
Right.
It was great. It was beautiful. And then I got to go the last few, the whole time this year. But what I don't want to see happen, Terry, the waiting list, what are we looking like on Gold Star Parents Retreat this year as far as, I'd like to see some campers. I'd love for everybody out there.
We do. We have a lot of RVs coming.
Okay.
But yeah, we're already at capacity. It's
my!
It fills up fast, and a lot of the guests that we have, we try to do like a 50-50 mix of first timers and then guests that have been with us previously. And one of the other compliments we got was one of the first timers walked in and they said, "Oh my gosh," she said, "walking into that hall for the dinner," she said, "it was like walking into a nice warm hug." And that speaks highly of our parents, our guests that have been there before, and our volunteers. It is. It's when you walk in, you know everybody's there for the same reason. Everybody's story is different, but they're all there for the same
Yeah.
reason, and that goes a long ways. And Heather, we do a wine and cigar bar also.
Heck yeah.
We had one of our
I
guests,
like
Alicia
cigars.
Bozos. You mentioned Alicia a while ago. Uh, their son was traveling through when we were in Gainesville when we did a retreat up there, and he came in and he said, "I expected y'all to be sitting around holding hands, singing Kumbaya." And he said, "Here's Mom. She's doing some kind of crafts. Here's Susie Hansen out here on the deck smoking a cigar." And he's like, "This is great." Yeah, that's what we do.
I
We're
love it.
we're not faith-based. We don't discriminate against faith or politics or any of that. So we come, we have fun, we connect, we share names and stories, we laugh, we cry. And that's
It
what we
should
do.
be like this, the big family. It really
is.
should be like this inclusive big family. And I guess that's kind of what I was expecting when I first came out of this whole real experience. You know, I kind of experienced a different side of things, but so that's kind of why I've held off on
Yes.
coming out to be a part of anything like this. But I think I've experienced some like degree of just healing the last 4 years, and it's so good to connect with people. I know there's a lot of people out there that love me and all of that, and I know that an experience like this would just compound it and help me to just start kind of a pathway of a different kind of healing, maybe. So I think it's going to be really important to gather and just be, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the way it is. And so your son went by Smitty.
Yes.
All right. So then that's what we'll do. We'll do our best to honor Smitty. You'll be our guest of honor.
Ah.
And you'll be smothered. Get ready.
Well, I can't wait. I'm so excited, and I'm sorry that I missed it. I guess you guys just had it, didn't you?
We had it back in April. We usually do it around Brian's birthday, April 23rd.
Wow, that's so wonderful to celebrate his life that way.
We
and I think Caleb, I just think about my son, Caleb. He really looked up, like he was already like gearing up to be in all the special forces. You know, he had made airborne and everything. And I hear that your son, I hear the special forces behind his name on some of the stories that you're sharing. And so I don't know. I think Caleb, just like he always looked up to his heroes, like your son and like Sergeant Two Step, and that Margie's son as well. You know, Caleb was a pretty new, soldier, and so I have been a pretty new, Army mom.
Yeah.
So I hadn't had very much experience in even the Army, or even just I was learning. I was a newbie, just like Caleb, Yeah. And so it's so nice to have had Tracy, she reached out and snagged me when I was really, struggling. And so it's wonderful how we all can connect and just be a link in the chain for one another. And I see it as our kids coming together and just reuniting, and I see it in my mind. I see our kids together, in a very powerful way, and I hear them cheering us on too. And I see Brian, I know like how proud he is of you guys.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, so yes, so that means Heather, you're going. I'm going because I made sure I signed up this time. I was like, okay, I'm not letting that happen again. I get sidetracked with legislation's coming back in Texas. It's every 2 years. So but as far as Gold Star Parents Retreat, Terry, I definitely want to do a shout out to Beth Burgess. If it weren't for her, and the work that she puts into this 24/7. I mean, so it's like everything we do. Like I'm broadcasting again. I don't have a single sponsor yet. I don't have a money tree. I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills and then next year pay for the station. I have no clue, but I keep going and it will all work out. And that's how you do it. There's no other way. It comes out of your pocket till there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And then something happens, you run into people, and hopefully, and that's by putting yourself back out there. I mean, I was someone who I had to take a break. I literally had to take a break from what was happening. But with Brian, again, The Hornet's Nest was the movie and is the movie, if you'd like to check that out. Also with Terry, he has written a book. Do you have that book near you, Terry? I thought I had one right here. When Your Blue Star Turns Gold. Terry has written a book.
Oh, let's see if I can get
There
that.
Wow,
it is.
yeah.
When
I don't think any of us ever even knew what a blue star was until I was a gold star.
No, exactly.
No.
I
Yeah.
only knew because
Wow,
of starting the
that's-
organization.
Wow, I loved
Unfortunately.
hearing about your son so much. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
about
you.
Brian.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Mama, they're
That's what
saying,
we
Mama
do.
Bet.
Mama Beth, I'm telling you.
Mama Bet. Uh-oh. Margie, you better sign up.
Ah!
I didn't sign up. What is Sergeant Carter saying? If not for Logan's passing, we would have never met all these wonderful friends and family we have met. We have an
No.
entirely new circle of friends who get us, and we look forward to seeing many of them each year at Gold Star Parents Retreat. It was very beautiful, Sergeant Carter. I'm trying to write a song right now, so think on that one.
Thank you guys so much. Everybody that's commented.
It's
Like
beautiful.
I don't know any of you personally except for Margie. But I just am I feel so blessed and honored to hear your comments and everything. Thanks for hanging out here with us.
Well, I wanted to just make sure. I mean, I thought, okay, so the first time there's a Monday where it's, Military Monday Moms, which is our Gold Star Foundation. So Gold Star Foundation, Fallen Heroes National Foundation are both two in the works right now. The Fallen Heroes National, this isn't ironic, it's because people get it. They understand that one. The Gold Star Family Foundation one it's not growing as fast because people need to learn what that is. And so with something like Gold Star Parents Retreat, people are going to look at that and be like, Gold Star Retreat. Ooh, is that like a
5-star?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
I'm not kidding you. That happened to me, didn't it, Terry, at the airlines? I would love to say this though, that
Yeah,
I
it happens.
forgot his name, but American Airlines is
Randy
unbelievable.
Stillinger. Yeah.
Yes. And I'll tell him I've had a lot going on. I'm sorry to forget his name. But I do want to make, like, American Airlines steps up and gives their miles. I mean, if American Airlines, that large industry like that we know does not hand over things, if they get it and they understand, then we got to get our people to understand, why do we need to keep our families connected? Because they have served, number one, okay? The freedom, the things that we do, the things that we rely on daily, the percentages of who will sign up are so low that the sacrifices their life. And I knew that the military would fit my son very well. I still have a little guilt. I mean, I won't lie. I can't. I'm like, I really can't. It's like that movie Jim Carrey did or something where he tried to lie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's like, no, yes. Sorry. But what I'm saying is that with Gold Star Parents Retreat, you're literally paying to support. So you're donating. I get asked this all the time. How do I help a Gold Star family? You sponsor one to go to Gold Star Parents Retreat, literally. So by sending in that donation, you are literally helping a family that has lost their fallen son or daughter go
Wonderful.
for 3 days and be there around other families. Because this is not like we're in a convention room. We are not in a session of you got to listen to all this. No, it is us getting together. It's kind of Yellowstone meets Texas, right? It's like
I like that. That's pretty good.
Okay.
It is.
well,
It is.
and
'Cause,
cigars
we are not trained therapists.
no,
You will never hear us say that we're going to fix you or we're going to help
Yeah.
you get over it. You'll never hear that from anyone there.
Yeah. It's a
That's
place
right.
to be yourself and
Yeah,
try
to
new
take
things. And
that mask that we wear in public sometimes, you take that off. You be yourself. You can share stories with us, that you can't even share with your family. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Terry, as you know, I mean, we have so many comments up here. So it's my country and me. Eva or Eva?
Eva.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure. She's saying she loves me some Sergeant Carter and Ken. I agree with you, hon. I do too as well. And I agree with your statement, Sergeant Carter, very much so. And yes, there will be music. Don't worry about that. So we will definitely be doing that. And then I like cigars. So when he mentioned cigars, yes, I'm one of those that was like, where are the cigars? And then the smoked whiskey. What is that, Terry? It's like,
Yeah, it's a smoked old fashioned that
oh,
Mike and Delisha make for us.
yes.
And then our good
Yummy.
friend Troy Melton there in Wichita Falls,
Yeah.
he hooked us up with an award-winning barbecue team, and they come in on Saturday nights and cook barbecue for the entire group, and it is just
Wow.
incredible. It just drives us crazy all day because we're smelling the barbecue, and then they bring it in and they serve it, and that team is just phenomenal. John and his team, but Troy has done us really good with hooking us up with people there in Wichita Falls, taking care of us. He shuttles people when we're unable to. He's just absolutely incredible and unselfish in giving of himself, and that's very much appreciated.
And Troy Melton, and I knew him through starting Military Moms in Texas. So years ago, years ago. But of course, I live in one area, he lives in another. So I'm not going to say exactly where I'm at, but running Military Moms in Texas, things we would do that weren't here in this area. I remember talking to him back in the day when it was way before we were all what we don't want to be. We don't want to be Gold Star parents. None of you do. What we want is a veteran now. Like, that's why the program that I think I lean towards, which is find a veteran that needs someone and they're transitioning, and then connect them to a Gold Star family. And I've seen beautiful things come out of that. I've even watched it at Gold Star Parents Retreat. It's something about fitting back into a unit. You're almost in your troop. You have that I've got your back. You've got the laughs. You've got the family back, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I saw missing, which is not yours, Terry, this is me, and it's where's the scholarship for these siblings that are not the wife and children? Where are these siblings? How are we taking care of them? And so that's when I did what Adam always told me. That was his name, Adam, but he went by Two Steps, so I should have said Two Steps. Like when I started Military Moms of Texas, I said, Adam, I cannot find anything like with all this anxiety of him deploying. He's like, why are you even looking? You usually just do your own thing anyway. Like, why would you go looking for something? Just do it, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'll just go do it.
Yeah.
And the biggest joke that everybody says to me is, Tracy, you always say it's easy. And I'm like, I do. And they're like, yeah, you always say it's easy. And I'm like, well, I didn't have another choice though. So I guess it is easy, right? When you just don't have that choice. And I know I didn't when I came in this world. So, Terry, I don't know what he means. Last year, the catering volunteers, were they a Gold Star father?
Oh, yeah. We had one of the servers.
Mm.
We did not know it at the time. He was helping Javier there with
Oh
the
my.
orchard is our caterer. So Javier had, and I can't remember the young man's name,
Carter's
but
got it. Carter, what is
uh,
it? If you remember the name, let us know, Carter.
uh, the guy started talking with us, and he said, I had not talked to anybody about losing my son for 2 years. And he said, then I'm here. He said, I didn't know what you did. I didn't know what Gold Star Parents was. And then I hear all of you talking about your sons and your daughters. And he says, so yeah, he was a Marine. So we had
Oh.
him come up and he shared his story with the
Uh-huh.
group. And he said, I haven't talked to anybody about this in 2 years. We He felt at home. We made him comfortable. Uh, he's part of the retreat now. So just
It's
and this is one of the things that Beth has said all along. You know, there's in your community, there could be a Gold Star mom or dad behind you in the grocery store,
Yeah.
beside you at the post office, your coworkers.
Hmm.
Beth actually had a coworker. They didn't know that they were both Gold Star moms, and they've met and connected. And it's one of those things you just never know who, where, what, when, or how you're going to meet a Gold Star. It's sometimes it's meant to be. It's beyond coincidence. It's
right. It is. It really
incredible to
is.
watch.
Um, so my biggest thing has always been, I hear it so many times. I'm like, I've got the answer. It's if you really like physically want to see, like I went and I was like, so I did this challenge, Heather, to myself and on air. So I kind of did it to myself where I was like, okay, I will go and I'll send back pictures and you will see the families that you're going to be helping. So that first round I went, I mean, it raised some, but not a whole lot, not enough. So we got to keep getting things like Gold Star parents. What are they? We've got to keep educating. But again, the organizations that are out there that are ran by the people for the people that do know what it is without an explanation. One of those is Gold Star Parents Retreat, and it's always been near and dear to my heart. And what I want to see is everybody that cares for our Gold Star families and the parents out there, and everything that's being done, not trying. It gets done one way or another. It gets done. We would love to see you go to goldstarparentsretreat.org. Again, that is goldstarparentsretreat.org, please, to take care of your Gold Star families. I guarantee you I'll be there again. If I have to go live, I will. I did not last year, but I will go live. Any family that would love to have their story on, or Mondays, we will be here. Heather and I are going to do the Military Mondays, which is going to keep the education going and continue to share stories that are about our families, and to make sure that along with that, there's the education. But I can't stress enough, if you really want to help a family, I mean, $5, $10, $20, skip the Starbucks that day, skip the treat, and it'll go to a retreat. So instead of
Yes,
giving that treat, that we can get it later, skip a treat, give to the retreat. There you go, Terry. I just
There
gave you
you go.
a line. Skip the treat, give to the retreat.
I like
I'm
that.
very good at that. See, I do it on accident. It's just my old radio marketing brain. So I like
there you
immediately go
go.
into not the Gold Star mom. I immediately take myself out. I think that's a coping mechanism, Heather, right? Like I try to really hard. I try to like, nope, I'm not the one. We just had an event, Terry, up at Fort Hood. And you know why I'm
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah.
It was great, the SOS building. So if at any time we want to all get together and do something, it's completely open. We went. We'll get a better turnout next time, but it wasn't a bad one. We did have a reporter that showed up, very, very kind. My CAO and my person is still there, but Terry and the others that are with SOS have retired. And so we have some new SOS people coming in. I do know I like to stick with the ones I already knew. So I'm lucky that the main guy there was my CAO there.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons it needed to happen, but we tested this theory. So we'd been told, I had been told for a long time, and honestly, when I met Heather, I was a little let down once. Like they were like, "Oh, we're going to do a Christmas tree and the ornaments." So I gathered probably 20, Heather, like of different moms, and I took and made these with some digital art, and then like got all their pictures and made sure they got there. And I just couldn't get anybody to follow up, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. So I stay careful about where I'm going to wander into, and that's just based on experience. So, and in life. So life experiences, I don't mean that people are bad, but yes, there are in the world. I hate to tell you this, there's good, bad, and ugly. So you got a third. And a lot of that means let's educate and let's try to come together. And if you can't do that, use my motto and do no harm. Remember to honor them all those that were serving and are serving right now are someone's child. All of them. I can tell you that. Both fathers, mothers, siblings. Terry, I've got to meet your daughter.
Yes.
There was so much at Gold Star Parents Retreat. So he's not giving it the all the bells and whistles. So I'm going to tell a couple of the bells and whistles here. When I went this last time, again, it was the first time, whole 3 days. I'm like, I'm doing it. I mean, I'm a Yeti person that we didn't, I need you to sponsor me, Yeti. I just said your name. They weren't Yetis. I'm going to go look. Beautiful, like cups is what I'll say. Retreat bags, there's a large company that makes jerky, Terry, and they took the time to put together these little bags of jerky specifically for the retreat. Say that name so that we can give them a shout out. What was that, Terry?
You catch me off guard. Hang on just 1 second.
Okay, I'll keep talking. So Heather, I'm bringing this up to you because remember I wasn't there. So these bags, the funny part is that inside the bags there were knives, and you know me, right? Like a lot more than a lot of people. Like I like knives. And
there it is.
Jungle jerky.
Jungle jerky.
Shout out to Jungle jerky.
They are local to Fort Worth, and they had different kinds. And we were going to pay him for this. And after talking with him and telling him what we did, he said, my wife and I would like to donate.
That is so awesome. That's so kind.
Packages.
And they went to the trouble of the repackaging of the small bags.
Yes,
I mean,
it was delicious.
Yes. I didn't get to eat mine. It got stolen from me before I could get to it. I brought it back and cashed my younger one. It was gone. But the funny story is, I was telling it while you got up, Terry. So Heather knows me quite well. So whether it's we're going to do legislation or we're going to Fort Hood you can get an ID now as a parent. For the bases and things, military, if you're Gold Star family. There's another thing that I can point out to you. I have mine. Heather has hers. Did you get yours, Terry?
Yes.
Okay. Terry has his. That's another thing I say to people when they ask me. I had someone just ask me again. They're throwing an event. And they said, how do we know? And I said, well, one way you know are there's these little cards you can get. But if someone's really going to lie to you and say, I'm a Gold Star family and want $10 off a thing, then let them go. Just let them in and don't say anything, or just don't tell me, because I never get in trouble. And something like that, I would speak up. Like I would be like I am if I have to talk to a legislator. I'd be like, excuse me a moment here. Let me teach you something. So, and in a nice way first. I would try it the nice way first. But let's segue to why we brought this up. We brought this up because there is someone who is doing a large concert, but we are too. It's called Patriot Fest. So Patriot Fest will be in multiple locations around Texas. We are going to try to hit Lubbock, where Heather is. She knows a lot of people in that area, obviously. And then we have Salado, a big music promoter there. We have the Austin Expo, and then we have Arlington Live. So Arlington Live, and who am I leaving out so don't get mad? So that's 4 or 5 of them already. Conroe. So Conroe will come up as well. So the cafe there, Honor Cafe. If you don't know it, you need to check this out. My very first Memorial Day that anyone said, A, I'd like to personally invite you. B, well, would you like to carry this? And I'm like, no, I don't understand, because I had never participated. It's not like I had been asked to actually participate. So they were like, no, they were like, it's heavy. It's a large gold star wreath. And it was Margie that was there. And she was the only other Gold Star mother there. And I'm there just in attendance, sitting just fine to sit. Cash was with me. I was so grateful that he gets to see something, right? So then they come up to me and they said, well, we want you to carry it with her. And I'm like, I don't have to. Like, I'm fine sitting over here like I do to Terry. Like, put me to work, but tell me when the cigars and that part comes up and the singing, and I'll stop washing the dishes. Long story short, out of all of this was a knife is where we're supposed to be talking about with Heather. Heather's into all kinds of competitive, like, training and things that she does that are just amazing. And I had seen a knife, it hangs on your mirror or something, and it's very easy for protection for women is what I'm talking about, not for something else. But at the retreat, Terry, his daughter she was there. Randy was there. And then in the bags, the gift bags were knives. And it has Gold Star Parents engraved on there. Very nice. And I'm like, oh, cool. You know how I am. Because I'm like, oh, cool. Here's another knife. I'm going to put it with my stuff. And then Terry makes a big announcement there. Whatever you do, don't take your knife. They're going to take it from you on the airplane. And so his daughter made some resin type sword tips. And it's resin. And you would know it, Heather. You're an art teacher. So I had the resin ones in my purse. Well, what I didn't know, and I won't name names, but the real knife got dropped into my purse I was carrying on the plane.
Ooh.
Yes. Here's the funny part.
That would happen to you, Tracy.
Yeah.
You know what the funny part is? They didn't stop me because of the knife. They took the resin tip thing that his daughter made out of resin plastic, and they didn't take the knife. So I'm sitting there going, I'm not going to say a word. You gotta be kidding me. Take that for me instead of an actual knife. Okay.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and I got back and I told Terry, I was like,
So funny.
yeah, they took your daughters, but they didn't take my knife.
Lauren got his knife. I mean,
I just thought if I had been caught though, you can get a lot of trouble for that. So I was like,
yeah.
Why did you do that? No, but it was great. And so what I'm trying to share here is that there are a lot of people that do come together. And so if you're out there and you're listening, the reason you'll hear me spelling thing is spellings or announcing, like goldstarparentsretreat.org. I'm going to say that again, goldstarparentsretreat.org, is because we're an audio podcast as well. So tomorrow it will go on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, all the accounts that are audio only. So we want to make sure that you also get the website address and the information that you need. But again, it's goldstarparentsretreat.org. You can support and sponsor a family to heal the healing that it did to me. So I can only speak for me because I don't want to speak for everyone. I'm going to tell you, I bet it is for everyone. But what it did for me is it did open me to, okay, I can walk in that room and I'll be okay. So Heather, you can walk in that room. And this is David. David, hi. He's with Heroes Media Group. Nice to see you, David. We are talking about Gold Star families. That is Mr. Terry Burgess right there. Gold Star Parents Retreat. I highly advise you to maybe get Terry on. It's a full veterans group that we're trying to connect to our Gold Star family. So what I do see is Heather doing the correct thing right now, and she's grabbing her guitar. But I do want to take a second to say something. Heather, this is our first, what I call true Military Monday that we put together here with Terry. Terry, thank you so much for always being the first one that's saying yes, always being the first one when even I need to make a phone call because it could be good or really bad. It's like there's not much in between. It's something either really bad's going on or something great. So I've always been able to pick up a phone and know that the message will get out, the people will care, and that I'm not the only one. I will fight. And so for all of you out there right now on this Military Monday, Patriots Inside the Wire, what you need to know is that Heather Baker, Smitty check is what we're talking. Smitty checks are what we need you to look at. It's all out there on our audio podcast. She has done her show, all the changes that she's made that are happening and things that are coming up, so that we make sure that the welfare checks, the health checks, screening checks of our service members active duty are checked on and followed through.
Accountability.
Yeah, so accountability. Thank you, Heather, for all of your
hard work. Make
work.
sure that they're safe on their own territory, that they can do their job. Caleb wanted to do his job. He admired his battle buddies, like we've been talking about tonight, just like Brian and like Sergeant Two Step, and he's not unlike any of our other amazing patriots out there and our wonderful families that we've been talking about tonight. And we just want, Terry, you mentioned Blue Star to Gold Star. We love all of our Blue Star families, and we want to make sure that their patriots continue to serve. And we're very proud of our kids.
Very proud.
We are very fortunate to have you here. I've got a couple of pictures here. So the people that are on live watching right now, this was the first year. This is saying thank you to American Airlines. And then you have a couple more. Here you are. This past year, we all got to go out with some were Patriot Guard riders, few CVMA, Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
I love that. Love the Patriot Riders.
Yeah, I do too. And it was to go see the memorial that was just built up there. And here's another picture right here. It started off, we had the buses take us over, and we got to go over to this. And so Terry, there's another picture of a big group of us. I see Margie there. There's a lot of us.
There's Sheila.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people that I recognize. It would be so nice to finally meet everybody face to face.
Well, what I'm telling you is that I've got a few in here, but I did want to do the shout out for American Airlines because that is a big part of it. But what we're trying to let you know is that the families, this is, no one else to say it, this is up at Fort Hood. If you'd like to get your service members picture up there as well, that can be done very easily. But Terry, for Gold Star Parents Retreat, in order for it to function, what we're asking out there is that we've got a Gold Star father and the mother, Beth Burgess, Terry and Beth Burgess, who have put together a retreat and said, you know what I did? It's like, we'll figure it out. If the money comes, the money comes, and we sure hope it does. But if it doesn't, then we're going to have to figure it out. So rather than having to figure that out on your own, and that's what we want to say is, please look at goldstarparentsretreat.org, see what you can do. I promise you literally are sponsoring a Gold Star family to go to a retreat that is not us laying around in robes and getting a massage all day. This is us getting together. It's like our heartstrings are connecting, and it's purely about, you can walk in a room and you don't even have to explain what something means or anything. It's like it's like your breath. You're just like
a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and
you
that's
can breathe.
We
use that as our slogan. Sometimes we just have the word "breathe."
I love it.
Finger there, but I that's exactly it. And I didn't know that. We have with some weird stuff in common there, Terry. I had it tattooed right here, and I was gonna. I won't say why there, but I wanted to put breathe. And she said, do you know what breath means? And I said, what do you mean? Because I had never done tattoos before Adam was killed. And she said, you know what breath means? Breath means not only do you get a breath, but it's taking a breath to breathe. And I said, oh, well, then just do breath. So, small little tip there. Yes, I chose that finger on purpose. We are getting towards the end of the night here. We have been on. We have, oh my goodness. I want to say thank you out there. I can see, my goodness, we seem to be what I'm finding. Well, thank you all. I can see you all out there right now. If you will take this show and share it, even once we're off, you can send this across the platforms, Patriots Inside the Wire, every Monday, 8:15, and every Wednesday at 8:15. Wednesday, our fallen heroes. It can range from a veteran to police to fire, K9 to a patriot, and our Gold Star families and Angel families with our Border Patrol. So again, Terry, thank you for sharing everything about Brian. We've got Heather over there with a guitar reminding me that we need to cut the show.
I got to show Heather. I got to show Heather one thing.
All right.
Oh, that's true. You're right, Sergeant Carter. That is true, but it is all therapeutic.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I've never got to do it. It's full.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, there it is.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
oh my goodness, that is amazing. I love that.
Penny Belcourt had these made for us.
Oh
She
my
gave
God.
me and Mike Betcher one, the filmmaker Mike Betcher.
Uh-huh.
So he also.
I can't wait to watch that movie.
That's beautiful.
And by the
love
way,
that.
all I had to do was I went on YouTube and I just looked up Hornet's Nest and it popped right up.
It pops right
And
up.
I think you can stream it right on
Yeah.
on
Right on YouTube.
YouTube. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to go check that out.
Yeah, I was showing the guitar back there, but we all have. I've got two of
Music is a special way to heal the heart.
Yes.
So I've
Yes, it is.
finally over the last 4 years, it took me about a good year and a half before I started playing again. And I'm played around Lubbock over the last 20 years, and finally after Caleb died, I just it blows you right off of your feet, and it takes you a while to get back to who you are. And I had to learn just to live and remind myself how to live, and so I've tried lots of different new things, and I'm interested in so many more, but I'll just share what is so healing to my heart. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. In my hour of darkness, standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Through the words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken heart people living in the world agree, there will be an answer. Let it be. Though they may be parted, still a chance that they may see. There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 Words of wisdom, let it be. be. Oh, what the
Wisdom.
the night sky still a light that shines on me, shining until tomorrow and be. To the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, singing words of wisdom that be. Let it be,
Let it be.
let it be. Oh, there will be an answer. Let be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Oh, whisper words of wisdom. Let be.
Let it be.
Oh my gosh, Heather,
Yeah,
you struck a
got me.
chord in more ways than one. I've got one more thing to show you
Okay.
because of
Oh,
that song.
I do
I knew
know
it was
that
about to play.
Brian's favorite is the Beatles.
Really?
And
Oh
you
my
didn't know
gosh.
that. Yeah, yeah. And you didn't
Really?
know. Yeah, you didn't know that. She didn't know. I
Let's
just told
see.
her, Terry. Look at that.
Uh,
Oh
there he is walking across
That's
Abbey
Brian's
Road.
favorite. Yeah,
Can you see that? There's
yeah,
Brian walking across Abbey Road.
right there.
He
Yeah, and I
was
didn't tell her. I
he
swear
was
I
a
didn't
huge
tell her.
Beatles fan. He was crazy about Beatles. And Beth and I got to meet Ron Campbell. He illustrated Yellow Submarine. My younger brother had given me a Lego model of the Yellow Submarine, so I took it when we met Ron Campbell and got Ron Campbell to sign it, and that's in Brian's cabinet now.
Oh my
So
gosh. The
Aw,
synchronicities. I love it. It's already happening. The
it
Gold
is. It
Star
is.
Parent Retreat is happening right now.
Yeah, it is something you're gonna love. So I will get my voice going good too, and
That is
I will.
amazing.
If I don't do it with you, I'll do backup. But knowing me, I just need to loosen
Wow.
up a little, and I'm good to go. So, and what that means is get comfortable where I'm at.
Right.
And if anyone's ever been someone who sings and does some songwriting, I'm still writing, and the one I've got right now is Bottle Rockets and Bullets. You mentioned 4th of July earlier. 4th of July is coming up. That is hard on a lot of our Gold Star families. So I want to say to you, we're thinking of you out there. I
Yeah.
know that my son, it's called R&R. When you're deployed in a war and you get to come home, he was in Iraq 18 months. He got to come home for 2 weeks. The day his plane landed was July 4th. There was a huge 4th of July parade. And so my memories are all wrapped around that and him
Yeah.
flying for
Yeah.
hours to get home.
So
He saw his friends. And the next thing that happened, I saw it. I saw my son's face and I saw him look at me and I knew immediately we had a situation. He literally looked at me like when a child looks at you like something's really wrong, save me, or, you're drowning. I saw it in his face. I'm like, Adam, you okay? And he said, no. And I said, what's going on? He said, Mom, I got to get out of here right now. And I said, is it the fireworks? And he said, yes. I literally was just in Iraq. I can't hear. I can't do it. I said, man, it's
yeah,
like
that's
midnight.
crazy.
We
Yeah. And
jumped in the car and I found somewhere open. And trust me, it's not somewhere I normally would have gone because I don't really go out like that. But even where we were, he was like, I don't care what it is. Just get me somewhere that's closed. Maybe they're playing music. I don't really care. I can have a drink. I can sit with you, Mom. So that night, I got to have him to myself. We were talking. He has his special drink that Heather knows all about. um, and we got to sit and talk, and he shared a lot with me. It wasn't your typical, like a lot of sons may not share everything. My
right.
son shared too much. Like it was one of those things that he would just love to tease me. And it was like, ooh, this mom and that. And I'd be like, oh, child. But I got to sit there and I just listened. And he needed for all that to come out. And
Yeah.
the fireworks got him so bad. Now, this is a kid that loved fireworks growing up. I mean, like, talk about rebel without getting in trouble. That was two-step. But and the singing and jumping up on a stage and like cheers and family tradition was his song. He would always sing that. Hank or Johnny Cash, and we have somebody related in our family near that. So he was always very proud of that. And so he'd jump up and sing just like Caleb would, which is ironic when a lot of people end up meeting each other. You find similarities in
Right.
the sons and daughters that join our military. And that's why we all get along like we do. It's because not only did our children grow up with the 9/11 happening, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to go do something about this. And then they grow up around, you know, that patriotism of what happened after that. So I know I always thought this. It's like, I'll end it on this. Look, don't let yourselves feel guilty, but I'll tell you, I still feel guilty about encouragement. Like, I knew that he was built for it, but I want to say this, I'm getting better at it because the military didn't kill him. That's not what happened. So I don't want to get into my son's information yet. I have not ever done it. I've never had anyone like sit me down like you, Terry, and Heather. I've had you sit and do your whole thing. And so I've been able to avoid it. And because what I like to do is show this connection with Terry here at Gold Star Parents Retreat. And then what Heather and I are working on, we got quite a bit we work on, but the music that we love, and then Patriot Fest, and then the show, working on broadcasting out and trying to get more people that need this help to know that we're here, we love you. Even if you didn't like me and you might want to meet someone else, trust me, there's all sorts of people that are there at Gold Star Parents Retreat. And I'm going to tell you with 100% right now, you want to go do something, Gold Star Parents Retreat, in honor of a birthday, a Christmas, anything. I see this so much online. Oh, I wish I could help, or, how can I help you? Well, Tracy said, go to goldstarparentsretreat.org and do that. Just simply donate. So even if, like I said, $5, $10, you're going to pick. I'd like to see a little more, though. I would like to see 100 to 500 and 5,000. Like, if you could pick, Christmas gift every year is going to be this amount to an organization. So, and that's the way it works in corporate companies. You can give a percentage back. So if you're within a corporation out there and you're listening to me, you can go to your company and say, hey, there is a 501c3, Terry Burgess, you're a 501c3. You can go to Gold Star Parents Retreat and put that in front of your company and say, this is what I'd like to give to our employees to see if they'd like to give back as a tax write-off. So you can do that as well. You can go to these corporations, and I used to do that with Military Moms in Texas.
Greatly appreciate it.
Right.
Greatly
So that's getting in front of people. So
I just think about it like this way. It could be the chance for somebody to really genuinely laugh or smile or cry for the very first time, or, in a long time. I know for me, I've been like boohooing this entire episode, but
great.
But it hasn't happened that way in years. So like, I'm starting to feel like the ability to be able to kind of just open up a little bit more. It's easy to get clammed up. It's easy to get cold and sedentary in your heart and just put things out of your mind. But it's just like getting things backed up. You eventually need to have, an opportunity to just kind of reprieve, reset, unload.
Everything and above. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Heather, I'm so glad that you got to get on, and that Terry, that was the perfect person that I thought, okay, I want to get Gold Star Parents Retreat. I mean, that's so something that's right here. But I also wanted to do it for Heather. I mean, for the first time to step out and say, okay, I'll come broadcast with you, Tracy. Now she knows that I can. I'm actually not mean y'all at all. As a matter of fact, I actually am quiet, except for when someone does something wrong. Like I have a really hard time biting my tongue. So just don't take me somewhere where something's being done wrong and I'll be okay. Or say, Tracy, let's just go. But no, I'm not a rebel. I am actually probably sitting at home literally all the time. I am not doing.
Well, we're just here looking out for your kids is the deal. We want to take care of your kids, Blue Star families, families that are where your children are considering joining the military. That the thing is that I'm just so grateful for folks like Terry and his organization to come and just walk us through a really difficult, time and make it a little bit easier to have that connection with other families. So, Tracy?
Really so you've got Smitty, you've got Two Step. Yeah. Does Brian have a nickname, Terry?
Cookie Monster.
All right. Like that.
He got in trouble for stealing cookies from his first sergeant.
The monster.
Oh, literally.
Yep. Cookie Monster. Yep.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
When was Brian? You said Brian, his birthday is in April?
April 23rd.
Okay, Caleb's is April 13th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, love it. I love
those. Weird. We all have certain dates in common. And again, Terry, the lady's name that makes the quilts, can you remind me again of her name?
Miriam Hink.
I thought Miriam. So Miss Miriam Hink does a lot for the Gold Star Parents Retreat too. We want to say thank you to her, but I also personally want to say thank you right now to her because she did go visit Adam's birthday just passed. I've got July 4th when he came home. Then you've got February 1st. We all have these dates that are really hard. I personally haven't and won't be able to go visit in Arlington until maybe I'm ready and I'm with a group. I just don't get a good feeling in my gut. I don't want to do it. So, but I want someone to. And so the veterans I had have passed away. And it's so awful. But so I called Terry and I said, Terry, who is up there around that area? And I knew that Sergeant Carter, because wait a minute, Kim's parents, I'm from Tennessee. So I'm in Nashville at this outing. And all of a sudden, this couple walks up to me and says, Tracy, how are you? And I'm like, who is this? And I thought about it a minute. And thank you, sir. I do see that. Thank you so much, Lions. Thank you all for your service. Those that serve and have served, we thank you so much. Sorry, he had been waiting. And it was Logan's grandparents. So I'm in Tennessee half the time, Texas. Up walks, I was there the day before. And oh, my goodness, my aunt. Love her, and she's just like on fast pace all the time. I'm a little more laid back, like slow. And we rolled so many shirts. She looked at me and she was like, Tracy, do you know how old I am? And I'm like, yep, but you're very, very strong. So she did a great job. I mean, we rolled all those shirts, but unfortunately there was a passing and she ended up at a funeral and didn't get to see the event. Well, I was there waiting. And next thing I know, I'm like, wait, I know who you are. That's actually Logan's grandparents. That is Kim's parents. So they are also the ones that validated. They said the same thing to me. What'd you do to Kim? And I said, y'all are about the third. That's 3 now. Like, what is the deal? Why are y'all asking me this? And they said, well, because she doesn't usually just take shine to people. Like, and I'm like, I don't even know if she likes me. I just know that maybe I just made her hug me. I don't know. I just know that we had sons and saw their pictures and they were right beside each other. We have dates in common is what happens. And just the mom to the mom, I don't know how to explain it, just to say that I think she's got a great big old heart that she hides because I hide mine too. So she probably figured me out too. It's like the people that hide like that, we are actually very, very fragile. So, but again, shout out to her mother and father. My gosh, I asked them, these are grandparents, right, of Logan. And I said, how many events do y'all go to? And they said, as many as we can. They literally travel all over to go. Have they ever been to Gold Star Parents Retreat, Terry?
Yes, they had. Yep.
They had? Okay. I'm just like, wow, y'all really do. They said, yeah, we do. So we sat there and had food, and I was like, okay, I'm in Tennessee with Logan's grandparents, Kim's parents, and hanging out. How would that even happen? Like, that's not, you know, I would have never known if I weren't at Gold Star Parents Retreat. And Kim and I hadn't had those moments. I knew Sergeant Carter from before. He's a little louder. But Kim, she's just such a beautiful soul, and her parents, my goodness. So again, to them, thank you to them for coming over and saying hi. It is a little strange when you're there. I'll end with this on me because I usually don't say this. It's okay to not be okay. The event I went to in Tennessee, I really had someone try to persuade me to do the Memorial Mile walk. And when you do this walk, you're walking by pictures, and these pictures aren't just pictures; they are our kids, right? And so, after asking me a considerable amount of times, and I love you, I love you, I love you, you know that I do, this person, I said, you know what, Tracy, you can do this. And I got about, I mean, not even a quarter of a mile, and I stopped. There was this picture, and I couldn't do it. I literally looked. I don't like breaking in front of people at all. And I was not okay. It's this right here. And it's up in the right hand corner for anyone that's watching right now. And what that is it's a beautiful testament made by Memories of Honor, is who it is. And that's what Kim and I were picking up, were these pictures. So I tried my best to walk by. I couldn't, Terry. I literally looked at them, and I looked and I said, how am I supposed to go past this picture? I can't. I physically couldn't. I just sat there, and I'm in public, and that's normally not me. So I was like, I had avoided it for so long that I walked up on that, and boy, it did something. I don't know still to this day. I just know that I couldn't go past it. I was like, no, I can't. I'll stay right here with him. And when y'all come back around, you can grab me, and I'll go back and sit down. But I don't know what it did, but no, I could not walk past and leave his picture. It was very strange for me. So I know that a lot of people like to do that, and that's great. But that's just something I'm telling you about me. So that if anyone else ever has an issue and thinks that they can't do it, you can do it, but it is okay to say, you know what, I think I need to stop right here. I got to take a breath, and I got to do this for my own self. And you can do that at Gold Star Parents Retreat. I know we're all laughing and we're talking about all the programs, and it really is great. But I can tell you this, if you need to go off to your individual cabin and you need to be by yourself, or you need to talk to, or whatever it is, trust me, that part of it is there for you too. So we are not just about having fun and so grateful to be around the people that get it. We also are doing it to where the same reason, the people that get it, we don't have to explain why we might need to step away, and maybe we can't do that. So Terry, I thank you for coming on. I thank you for Gold Star Parents Retreat. Again, goldstarparentsretreat.org, which is on Patriots Inside the Wire. We do our website is up. You can see all the channels down at the bottom. If you're listening to us on the audio podcast tomorrow, please check out, again, the websites I am mentioning, but you can always find us on patriotsinsidethewire.com. Every Monday will now be Military Monday. We're going to share our stories. And then Wednesdays, I know y'all love our Wednesdays. It is our live music concerts with our stories from our fallen heroes. So we thank you. We have Gold Star Family Foundation, Fallen Heroes National Foundation, Gold Star Parents Retreat. We are a committee of people who want to see great things. Heather wants me to tell everyone thank you, and that she has enjoyed being here, but her dogs are literally like trying to break. They need to get out. So thank you, Heather, for being there. Thank you for breaking open the guitar. My voice was and would crack too. But yeah, she'll be there, Terry. So that's a huge accomplishment. But tell Beth we said hello. I did see her on in the show, and I'm waving. You know, she's like, she's out. So tell her I said hello. But again, goldstarparentsretreat.org, Mr. Terry Burgess and Beth Burgess, who does a lot of work. In order to put this on every year, your Gold Star families are your active duty service members who are no longer here. And again, take a little note out of my book. Do no harm. You know, someone's willing to serve for you, to give you your freedom, then I don't need to know anything else. I need to know if you're doing okay. I need to know if you as a person are okay, because any child that's lost by a parent is a bad thing. And then you throw in there being put into groups and things that might be happening. I want to say to every one of you, you'll get through it. If reach out to me, reach out to Terry, reach out to one of us. We all know resources, but and I can guarantee you that if not one of us, that there is someone who's probably been through something you're going through. So we want to make sure that we all just stay a community, take care of each other. It's not that hard. Again, I always get teased because I say it's easy, but it's not easy without you and your help and your support and your donations. So please, again, with goldstarparentsretreat.org, Mr. Terry Burgess is the father of Staff Sergeant Ryan Burgess. The Hornet's Nest, remember, that is unfiltered. That is raw. To go watch that, it is on YouTube. And again, look up goldstarparentsretreat.org. Thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to American Airlines. Thank you to all those families that do attend and share their life. They share their history with their child. And, you know, it's not just that. As Terry and I have spoke, the sibling scholarship is a really big thing that I've put as it's a number one category for me. And it's not just me. I overheard multiple families speaking at Gold Star Parents Retreat. They knew I was standing there. It's not like I was eavesdropping, but it was all about sibling. And I thought, okay, yeah, it isn't just me. So I do believe it needs to be there. So we're working on that one right now, literally. So we don't want to keep Terry any longer. I know I need to get glasses or a bigger screen. We just want to say thank you for joining us on a Monday. And Terry, do you have some last words there you'd like to give?
Just thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I've seen a lot of our volunteers. I saw Dawn Lyons was on there. She's an incredible addition to Gold Star Parents Retreat. And just thank you, everyone, for your incredible, unselfish support. Thank you.
Well, we just want to say that, Terry, I think that you do what I do, and it's try to lessen what you do. Like it's not that big of a thing, but it really is. I've often said I either need to move up there or what I just experienced in Conroe, because watching communities come together is beautiful. So I hope that we get more that will follow suit to do that. So please tell Miss Miriam I said thank you. That meant the world. That picture of just the money inside there at my son's location, Terry, you knew more than I did. I mean, it's one of those things that I guess you probably know me better than most. I'm really good at fighting for other people. I'm not that great at the emotional side, and I get to hide by helping others, right? So yeah, and that works for me. One day, if y'all want to put me on the spot, I don't have a problem talking. I'll probably put on my legislative speech, and then you can have the true side of me. I don't have a part that isn't true. I don't know how to be any other way but just my authentic self. So Terry Burgess with Gold Star Parents Retreat, please check that out. You're on patriotsinsidethewire.com right now. Patriots Inside the Wire is on Facebook and all. Please join our Facebook group and follow us to become involved and grow the community to educate and learn more. Terry, I am going to play our exit, and you know what it is because of Two-Step, my son, Sergeant Two-Step's little brother. And it is in here. We want to play this to you before we say goodbye so that when we do, here you are.
Thank you for watching another episode of Patriots Inside the Wire, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step. Help us broaden our reach. Like, subscribe, and share.
There you have it. And that is Sergeant Adam, my brother, two step. So, again, thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back on Wednesday. We have our Wednesday Warriors with Mr. John Swat. He will be up here singing. And then we have the commissioner for Texas. So, we have the Texas commissioner coming on about a few things that are happening around the way. So, I just might have to talk to him about Gold Star Parents Retreat. We do have some things coming up. I can't spill it right here, but we do have some great legislative things that are happening that will honor the families that Terry does know about. So the further we get into it, we'll make sure that everyone else knows, Terry, but I won't be able to do it without you. So really, we've got to be able to get a hold of everyone. We don't want to leave anyone out. So that will be this Wednesday. So this Wednesday show, we will talk some about the Gold Star families and what we're looking at trying to do, not trying, what we will do. And some changes that we're also trying to do in regards to the tolls, the tags, and the things like that. I don't know if you heard about that, Terry, but it was brought to my attention. And I want all of our veterans to have everything they have, literally. But it was brought to my attention that it's the free tolls, the tags, and there's all sorts of these other things through the state. And I said, huh. And so Mom was talking about all this stuff she had to pay to get a license plate and other things. And I was like, my goodness. She said, aren't you working on legislation for transportation stuff? And I said, yes. And I said, I'll add it to my list and see what happens there. So we're adding that to the list. Gold Star Advocates is out there. I am not the founder of that. I am part of it. But again, right now you're on Patriots Inside the Wire. Join me this Wednesday. We will have the commissioner on in Texas, and we'll be talking more about what can we do for our veterans, our Gold Star families, our Angel families, Border Patrol officers, fire, and our ranchers. There is something happening that we do need to know about. Terry, thank you again for another wonderful night of being on.
My pleasure, Tracy.
You're always the first one of like, okay, I'll go first. or maybe I don't even ask. Maybe I'm not sure, but it always works out great because we got a lot of they don't want to go away. I see, like, I can see who's watching, and like I can't show you right now, but I want to say thank you to each one of you. I can see, I am able to see through the studio. And Doug, like I said, get me, if you know anyone else that's been in this thread, they've got my phone number. Or you can go to Patriots Inside the Wire, and my email is pretty easy, info@Patriots Inside the Wire. You can find me just on the website. So I look forward to hearing from you. He has something he'd like to talk to me about, Terry, about your organization. So, and he has been with our show at a different production company right now. So shout out to Heroes Media Group, Mr. Adam Bird, a veteran that decided that the Gold Star families do need a place at the table. So thank you for that, and to all those veterans that are there at Heroes Media Group. As we have July 4th approaching, I like to say again to remember what I talked about, which was something I wasn't aware of, which is even me now, just because of my own son. It's like I hear that and it startles me. So let's watch out for our veterans. Let's watch out for our community and the Gold Star families as well. And I extend that to all, but I mean this because of July 4th coming up. So we hope to see you on Wednesdays and Mondays. So send us a message. We're going to say goodnight. Terry, we've been on quite a bit here. You've lasted, we're almost at 2 hours. So we will have this out for every one of you. Again, if you look at the bottom there or go on our site, you will be able to find the audio version of this as well as our other shows. And if you're interested in Patriot Fest or anything else that we're doing legislative, and I don't mean politicians, I mean the ceremonies that are coming up around Gold Star Families Day, and we say families around here. So again, Gold Star Parents Retreat, Mr. Terry Burgess, in honor of Staff Sergeant Brian Burgess. We thank him for his service, and you, Terry, for always being able to just tell your story and share your life. And I obviously got to say, Beth, you know that everybody thinks social media is easy to manage and all, and it's not. It's a job. It literally is, which is what I do. It's part of my job. But Terry, we're going to say goodnight to everyone. We've already had live music, which was I promise you, I didn't even tell her. I mean, when she started singing that, I went, "Oh my goodness!" So, you could probably hear me through there because I could not try to join in, but
It's perfect.
she didn't even know. Like I didn't tell her. And we keep saying she. It's Heather up there, and Caleb is Smitty Check, and for Gold Star Family Foundation, Fallen Heroes National Foundation, we have a lot more coming up for you. But goldstarparentsretreat.org. Check it out for me, please. That is where you'll find me always when I want to gather with our Gold Star parents. So, Terry, thank you. Thank you to all the volunteers. And we're going to say goodnight so that Tracy, like, yes, I just said that in my second person. I didn't eat or anything. I'm just like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it's like, break up your day. This was very important to me. And I know Heather loved it as well. So if you or anyone else, Terry, knows of someone who would like to be on Military Monday, which is going to really surface around what is there more for our Gold Star families. And I include in that our border families, fallen. Now, Wednesdays, normally we will do a lot of that, but I would love to have more, even if it's someone that'd like to share their story. And you've decided, you know what, I do want to let people know about my son or daughter. So you can let them know that you can go straight to the website, put in your information, or you send me an email. I don't look at my messenger a lot. I am going to tell everybody this. This is the honest to goodness truth. I am afraid I've got spam in there and I won't click if you send me a link. So easy to find. Thank you for being with us. We officially hit that 2-hour mark. And so we are going to go now, and I'm going to go hang out with it is summer. So I'm going to go say hello to my son and say goodnight. And thank you for being with us on Military Monday with Patriots Inside the Wire, as well as Terry Burgess and his whole family, siblings and all. Thank you. I hope that the 4th is, I don't know if I should say good. I don't know how it is for other people, but I hope that whatever's coming for you, that is where you need to be and where you want to be. So I always tell people, please make that decision for yourself. I put myself in an uncomfortable situation recently, and so it will continue to happen. It doesn't mean because you're so far along, you're okay. No, that's not how it works. It means that if you need to do something because you know that's what works for you and it's just something you can't handle, then you have to do it. And so that means if I cannot walk past a certain thing, then I just can't do it. Maybe one day we'll see. But again, Gold Star Parents Retreat.org, the Hornet's Nest movie, you can find that on YouTube. That is about Staff Sergeant Brian Burgess, infantry all the way, the 164, the 3rd ID. She always says to me, RLTW. I said, no, MLTW. You can say DLTW. And what that means is moms lead the way or dads lead the way. So thank you for doing that, Terry. Thank you for leading the way for a lot of us Gold Star families who were looking for that path and we've been lost. And you stood out there with that flashlight. Here we go. We've got a spot for you. So thank you for doing that and giving us that sense of home. And I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, and good night.
Right. Good night, everyone. I am going to go have sweet tea and food I shouldn't be eating. We've been on 2 hours. PatriotsInsideTheWire.com. Check it out. GoldStarParentsRetreat.org. I keep saying this online if you're listening because this will be on audio. So Gold Star Parents Retreat is what I want you to go check out. That is our guest tonight that is on here. So when you're listening to the podcast, you'll understand that this is where you need to go. This is how you help. It's pretty easy. So thank you so much for being with us at Patriots Inside the Wire. May you have a great July 4th. And join us Wednesday with the commissioner. The commissioner is Commissioner Sid Miller for Texas. Gosh, my country twang. You can tell it's getting late, y'all. My voice is mixing Texas and Tennessee all together. And we will talk about some things we're doing for Gold Star families. So if you have any ideas out there, things that you think that need to get done We are not afraid here to do the legislative work. So send us your messages through our website. But again, thank you for your time, Terry. We did a record here, I do believe, of 2 hours. We're at 2 hours 4. Yeah. Well, his Adam's number is 24, so we're going to end it on this one. Good night, Terry. It's been great to have you on. Thank you to Heather, who's out now. We all thank you for being with us. Have a great night. Good night.